Okay, it is 11:30. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, almost afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Gold, and I am one of the Community Liaison and Service Specialists at WiLS. And I, along with my colleague Jeff Bruner, want to welcome and thank you for joining us for Taco Tuesday. This series is held on the first Tuesday of every other month and is an opportunity to connect our vendor partners with each of you. The webinars are being recorded, and then we share each segment to allow our members to learn about the products and services that are of most interest to each of you in 15-minute sound bites. The links will be shared with everyone who registered and will be posted on the WiLS website in several places, including the Taco Tuesday page and on individual vendor pages. And we are very excited to have presenting today Angel DeRue from Infobase, and then we'll have Josh Horowitz from ACM following Angel. Then we'll have Victoria Jerkowski and Jamie Kniebel from Newspaper Archive. And then finally, rounding out the session, we'll have Jay Hess from EBSCO. So without further ado, I am going to change the control to Angel.
Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be joining you today for Taco Tuesday, always my favorite day of the week. So what we're going to do today is a very quick overview of what's new with Films on Demand. I know that many of you are current subscribers, and so I thought it would be most useful in the few minutes that we have today to look at some of the things that we've been up to. What are some things that here at Infobase we have been doing to make Films on Demand the best that it can possibly be. So one thing that you certainly are noticing, even as you're looking at your screen, before we go anywhere or click on anything, is the fact that we have a whole new platform driven by some of the best and brightest of the available Films on Demand content. A lot of what we are offering currently, as far as the newest offerings, the best series, the most useful content for whatever is happening right now. Of course, February is we're in day 4 of Black History Month, so there's a lot of great video content in Films on Demand for that. You'll notice that there's that large banner that's scrolling across the screen, the top of the screen, as well as a number of new sliders. So we really wanted, as far as just making everybody aware of what is available, we wanted to make it as discoverable as possible. And I can confirm, because I had a great chat with one of our acquisitions people yesterday, who also is involved in kind of the redesign of the platform from time to time, and she assured me that that's really kind of their main goal, which is to let everybody know, because obviously you have a lot of things that you're subscribing to and different products and platforms that are providing all kinds of great content. So it's hard to keep track of it all. So that's kind of what we were doing over the last few months with the relaunch of Films on Demand. I was also able to figure out that we added, over the course of 2019, 5,600 new video titles across all collections. So that was a really exciting number for me. I wasn't sure what they were going to tell me, and I thought, wow, that's really amazing. So, we're really hard at work at doing all of that. So that's one of the big new changes, I guess you would say, is the fact that we really kind of rethought how the content is being presented. We also have done a few things as far as, for those of you who have signed or who have created your own accounts, we certainly encourage you to do that. There are a lot of things that you can do as someone with your own account to be able to customize your experience. And also, since we're on the topic of customizing, the homepage can also be customized. So if you have admin access to the account, you can create your own sliders, you can reorder the ones that are there, you can suppress anything that you would really not rather have at any given time. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do. So one of the newest features that we've added, as far as just kind of a straightforward feature, is the ability to change the background theme. So first I thought, gee, this looks really great. It's kind of a nice, look. It's sort of familiar to people. We're used to seeing this kind of a background when we log into maybe our Netflix account or Amazon Prime or whatever we're doing. So that I thought first, it's kind of a nice cosmetic change. But then I was, somebody informed me during a training that it's also really useful for people with visual impairments, people who have attention deficit disorder. It's much easier for them to focus on the different aspects that they're seeing on the homepage, or on the screen rather. So there's all kinds of reasons why this is actually a really nice improvement for your customers. If you're used to using Films on Demand, you may remember we used to have something called My Films, which was basically where you would store all of your saved videos, anything that you created as far as playlists or custom segments. More on that in about a minute or two. But we kind of reordered and rethought that whole approach, and we've changed it now to My Content. What this means is that anytime you're logged into your account in Films on Demand, you save your favorite video, you create a playlist, you save a search, any of those things that you might want to do as a regular user of Films on Demand, all of that goes right into your My Content page, and then you can come in and you can manipulate the appearance, you can change the order, you can choose to only view certain types of resources for each individual thing that you've saved, and each individual piece of content. You can also choose to move it to a different folder. You can delete it if you think you're not going to need it. And we also have many ways throughout the platform, and you'll see this as you start to see some of the new pages. We provide lots of opportunities to be able to embed content into, say, a learning management system. And we have many customers that are using something like Canvas or D2L. So many different platforms, new ones coming out all the time, so it's sometimes very difficult to keep track of it all, but we're working really hard to create direct integrations with all of those various products so that we want to make sure that basically that the content is easily discoverable, that if you are using other tools to provide access to your students or to your users, that process works as quickly and easily and seamlessly as possible. So if you're used to, kind of the previous iteration of Films on Demand, we've back to the other theme, the lighter theme, just because it's what I'm used to during live webinars. We've added a few little tweaks here as well. You'll notice that we still provide a list of segments. There used to be 3 tabs here. We've kind of cleaned that up a little bit, streamlined it so that now there's only the 2. The first one is all of your available segments for each video. The second is the interactive transcript. I'm going to mute that because I know it's going to surprise me if I forget to do that before I click somewhere in here. So the transcript allows you to actually control the video from any point. We've actually been experimenting with a couple of different types of software for the transcript option. We had one for a while that we were using that we just didn't feel was quite as customer friendly or user friendly as it could be. So this one seems to be much better for everybody, both us and our customers and our subscribers and our users. Always that's the goal primarily, is what are people telling us? What is it that you guys like about Films on Demand, and what are some things that we can improve? We do take all of that feedback very much into consideration. So a lot of the other components on this page are pretty similar to what they used to be. So the Add To and the Add To feature allows you to add any of the videos that you're finding in your searching or in your browsing to either an existing folder or to a new folder if you want to create another one here. You can also add videos to a playlist. And what's really great about the playlist feature too is that you can go in and actually create a video of yourself introducing the playlist. So you can create sort of maybe a webcam video, or if you've got recording equipment already available and set up, you can make a video of yourself saying, hey, hey guys, I created this playlist for you. Make sure you watch all the videos and be prepared when you come back to class tomorrow or next week or whatever. To have we're going to have a discussion. There may even be a pop quiz, so be ready for that. So that's what you can do. It's a really neat way to make sure that your students and whoever else you're sharing these videos with know what the expectations are. As far as adding videos, you can add either the entire video or any of the individual segments. I can also multi-select a number of different segments if I want, and then add them either to an existing playlist, or I can create a brand new playlist that I'm going to name right here, and I can then share it that essentially becomes a shareable feature. I can use a link. It'll actually create its own dedicated link that I can then use to share outside of the platform. Speaking of sharing, we also have an option to share via email, as well as an available embed code and a record URL. This will be great for sharing on a website. The embed code, obviously, again, if you're using something like Canvas, but I've seen the integration. It looks great. So if you, what you can do is you can set up direct access to Films on Demand through something like a Canvas, and users will be able to search for any of the available content, including any segments that you created as a user. So what you can do is, if there's a video that's too long, but you really feel like there's maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it that is extremely valuable that you can definitely use in your classroom or in the library, what have you, that segment can then be created and shared just like any other video. It's going to, you can add it to a playlist. It's going to exist if you're using an instance of Canvas and students are looking for videos, that will show up there as well. So it's a really useful feature if you don't necessarily, are not necessarily in the habit of sharing videos in their entirety. So that's a great way to make use of that. So the last thing I'll show you is, I just want to do a quick search here, and then I'll leave a couple minutes at the end if there are any questions. I want to make sure that we, get any questions that you might have answered before we wrap up today, or before I wrap up. You guys are probably going to be hanging around for a little bit longer here. So the search results page features some new filter options. They're all now drop-down options located right at the top of the screen. On any search result, you can save your search easily at one click. You can also export titles to an Excel spreadsheet. Then we have all those features that we saw on the video player page are here as well, including a preview option if you'd like to be able to view the video beforehand in preparation for maybe a lesson or maybe a presentation that you're doing. Quick reminder before we go to questions, all of the content in Films on Demand is available 24/7, unlimited usage or access. Public performance rights are also included, so if you'd like to incorporate video content into some kind of a campus event, students want to use them for service projects or other presentation type situations, all are included and allowed as part of your subscription. All right, so with that, I will turn it over and see if there are any questions before my next couple of minutes are up.
Thank you, Angel. And please remember to unmute if you have a question, or you can send a question for Angel via chat. Any questions?
Hi, Angel. This is Jeff, actually, from WiLS. I have a real quick question.
Sure.
It seems like a million years ago when I worked at the UW Oshkosh Library. And at that time, one of the things that we were trying to do with the website there was come up with sort of rotating themes that we might show off different databases or different resources. We're actually doing something similar at WiLS now. But one of the things that I found hard to do on a much earlier platform of Films on Demand was to really pull like a specific video or a specific like set of videos on a particular subject and then highlight those on the library website. From what you presented earlier, it seemed like that would be a lot easier to do that sort of thing now. Would you agree with that, and maybe talk a little bit about how a library could do that for themselves?
Sure. So as you're navigating the platform, many of the pages have links that they're basically dedicated links that you could post on a website or allow folks to share outside of the Films on Demand platform itself. There are also tools in the on the admin side. So if you're an admin in the account, you can do things like create a preview widget, which will take segments of certain videos and put them together. You can create links as far as directly to subject related videos. So if people, maybe a certain month you're highlighting the history videos, there's actually a link in the admin portal that will allow you to add that link to your website, and then people can go in and find it. There are also search widgets that you can use. So there are lots of different ways that you can do that. Every video individually also has the embed codes as well. So if you're, let's say, I'll just go back to a video page very quickly. I think I showed that kind of quickly, and I didn't really talk too much about it. That's because I'm not a technical person, so I'm always cautious to not say something that is absolutely incorrect. But I'll just go back to show that. So every single video has a dedicated embed code, both for the full title and also for the segment. So there's real flexibility there. I mean, you could take multiple links and post them on a web page. Maybe you have a set of your, a section of your web page set up that have multiple links that you can use from Films on Demand. So there are a few different ways that you can do that.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Angel.
Sure.
Great. Thank you so much, Angel. And if people have questions, we will share out your email address after. Thank you for joining us today.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jeff and Sarah.
Okay, and next up we have Josh Horowitz from ACM. And Josh, I'm going to go ahead and make you the presenter. You want to click the button that says share screen. I believe it's a blue button.
Hi, did that work?
Sure did.
Can you see my my presentation? Okay, great. Thanks everyone for allowing me to join today. And my name is Josh Horowitz. I'm the Digital Library Sales Director at ACM, and I'm happy to give you a really quick overview of our new transformative open access licensing model. So ACM, working with some key academic libraries in the U.S. has, for about 2 years, has put together a new business model, licensing model that will, with the end goal of transforming our publications to fully open access research publication over the next 5 to 10 years or so. So ACM publishes about 25,000 articles each year, and about 20,000 of those are what we call research articles or APC eligible articles. APC is an article processing charge, which is a fee the author typically the author will pay the publisher to make their article open from the time of publication in perpetuity. So 80% of what we publish each year is eligible, is what we call peer-reviewed research articles. The end goal of our program, ACM Open, is to make all of that content open on a going forward basis. This presents a challenge for us because we've got about 2,700 libraries worldwide that are subscribing to our publications, but really only about 1,000 that are really publishing with us in any significant capacity. So the challenge for us is, how do we migrate to an open access model without risking the revenue that we receive from this long tail of essentially, quote, read-only institutions. So this model is meant to try to address that over a period of years, in which the publishing, the cost for institutions to publish with us increases while the cost for institutions to read our content goes down. So not only is this favorable for us in terms of our sustainability, and that it'll redistribute the costs we have amongst our customers as a nonprofit organization, rebalancing the cost distribution amongst about 1,000 institutions that are more engaged with us and are more highly research intensive is a better sustainable model for us than our current model, which is distributed cost across that 2,700 reading institutions. Beyond that sustainability aspect, it's also, we found that open access is better for for innovation in the sciences, and we've certainly seen that articles that are made open are seeing 2 to 3 times as many citations and downloads as those that are not open in the same hybrid open access journal. So as I mentioned, the goal is for all of our peer-reviewed research articles published in the current year and going forward to be OA in the digital library at the time of what we call full flip, when the model will completely go open access for all of our research publications, and anyone publishing with us would need to either be participating in this model via their institution, or else paying an APC as we currently do on an article level under our hybrid OA program. So this new model we call ACM Open the license allows the institution's corresponding authors to publish unlimited number of open access articles with us for the period of the contract at a fixed price. And it also includes full quote read access for the rest of the content that they would have in a normal subscription. I just want to quickly go over some of the history behind this model. We started working with the California Digital Library about 2 years ago or so, and then eventually brought in some other institutions, including MIT, Carnegie Mellon, University of Minnesota, and Iowa State University, and finally came to a tentative agreement on the new model last year, and then finally signed our first licenses with a number of libraries in this group, about 17 in total, just last month. So this slide is kind of, I would say, outlines the challenge that we have. So if you look at the left-hand column, you'll see we're grouping our constituents by the number of publications or articles that they published with us in 2018. So that top 100, that first row there, is the top 100 publishing institutions with us, research publishing institutions. And you can see that they've accounted for about 31% of our total research articles published in that year. The challenge is that they've only accounted for about 5% of our total subscription revenue. I think even more striking is if you look at that second row where you see the top 250, you'll see they've accounted for about half of the total research published in that year, and yet only 11% of the total revenue that we receive through subscriptions. So essentially our goal, our task is to redistribute the revenue from these institutions so that we're receiving more in line of the percentage of total articles, that 31% or 49%, than what we're currently receiving in terms of revenue percentage of 5% or 11%. And so this is our model. It's a 10-tier model. The tiers are based on the average number, the total average number of research articles you've published with us, that your corresponding authors have published with us over the last 3 full calendar years. So right now we're working from the 2017 through 2019 period. So those institutions in Tier 1 have averaged more than 75 corresponding authored articles with us over that 3-year period, and you can see the tier pricing there. We ask for a minimum of a 3-year term. The pricing is fixed over the period of that term, and we do offer what we call ramp-up pricing in years 1 and 2 for some of the higher tiers in recognition of the fact that it would be asking for a significant increase in spend. But essentially, if you look at the top 4 tiers here and the number of institutions that you find in them, it equals about 100 institutions. Top 4, about 100 institutions. In the top 4, that total amount that we would be receiving under this model with the pricing is equal to about the top 100 publishing spend revenue that we receive here. So essentially, we reverse engineered our pricing so that participation under this model would fit those, would redistribute the revenue in an appropriate way. Something else to mention about the model is that, as I mentioned, the Tier 10, those Tier 10 institutions, the ones who are not publishing with us much or at all, their pricing will go down over time as we hit new thresholds of open access content in a given year. So as the money is being transferred to our top, those top 1,000 core research institutions, the pricing for those who are not as research intensive and not publishing with us will go down over time. So the model itself is not meant to create huge surpluses of revenue for ACM as a nonprofit organization. Instead, it's just meant to transition us sustainably to an open access environment. And again, as I mentioned, at the point where we were to hit 80% open in a given year, that would be our full flip. And then from that point forward, all of our research publications would be published open access. And so this is just a model, again, showing what that flip would look like if once the tier 10 hits that 25,000. You know, we don't foresee any significant surplus ultimately, except, you know, what is due to regular inflationary increases over time. Finally, some points here on the model. We have a default option for authors to retain the copyright on their articles and to use a CC BY license, which we know is very important. Again, we're only counting the corresponding authors, and any institutional publication counts. We tier based on the average of the three most recent full year calendar years of publications. ACM, you know, we realize that there may be a surplus in early years while we get adoption up from the top, but have not yet seen the cancellations from the long tail at the bottom. And as such, we're very transparent about how we would use those surpluses. They would essentially be put to our good works programs, and you can see some examples of those right here. Another benefit we're willing to provide is the automatic deposit of the accepted corresponding authored articles, or the accepted articles, published articles, into the participating institution's repository. So all of the affiliated author articles, including the non-corresponding authored articles, would be eligible to be deposited. If those articles were published open access under this program, we would deposit the version of record of the article. If not selected as OA, we would deposit the final accepted manuscript of the article. And then also regular reporting by ACM on the progress of ACM Open is included, both for the institution and also globally. So that's the summary. I know I ran through a lot of information pretty quickly, and I'm happy to take any questions. Here's my contact information. Anybody who would like to contact me for more information, I'd be happy to provide.
Thanks so much, Josh. Any questions for Josh? Everybody's busy eating tacos, I think. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure, pleasure. And again, if anyone has any questions, please just feel free to reach out. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, and next up we have Victoria Jerkowski, and I'm not sure if Jamie was joining us today or not. Victoria is from Newspaper Archive, and let me go ahead and make you the presenter. Okay, do you see the button to share your screen, Victoria?
Yes, I do see that. I just have to change my preference. So I need to, okay, quit now. Ooh, okay. It's saying that in order to share my screen, I need to go into my preferences. I'm gonna try to do that right now really quickly. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. This is
No worries.
a
We're a little bit ahead of
just
schedule.
GoToMeeting.
I think this
Oh,
I think it did it for me. Perfect. So I'm gonna see, let me know if you can see my screen.
We can.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Fantastic.
My slideshow. So thank you so much for having me today for Taco Tuesday. My name is Victoria. I'm one of the account managers for Newspaper Archive. I have my partner Jamie as well here for support. She is on the call, not on the video, but on the call with us. So I hi Jamie. So I just wanted to start off by briefly summarizing who we are. Newspaper Archive is one of the largest collections of historical and current newspaper archives. We have content from over 400 years in 32 different countries. So we have been providing institutional access to many of the top libraries in the world for many years. What we specialize in is digitizing and microfilming newspapers for online use. What we do is we digitize the reels so that the images appear exactly the same as they do in print. At this time right now, we do have a collection of almost 300 million images on our easy-to-use searchable database. It's just some company information. We have now been around for 23 years. Our main headquarters are in North America. We have two different websites. So newspaperarchive.com specifically for individual subscriptions, And we have our access.newspaperarchive.com, which is for institutional. So that would be the one that would apply for academic libraries and public libraries. We are proud to be one of the world's leaders in historical newspaper archiving. And as mentioned, many of the top libraries in the world partner with us. So overall, we have over 500 public and academic institutions worldwide and growing. So currently we have content from 32 different countries, as I mentioned, but we do expect to expand and obtain content from 50 countries in the next 2 years. Some of the services that we provide, so our access, so an easy to use site allowing your library staff and patrons to access our large collection on a searchable database. Remote access is also offered for in-home use. So we do have that unique feature of remote access. So what we can do is we set up a referring URL with your library, which allows your patrons to access our millions of pages of content at their home as well. We also offer the service of microfilming and digitization. So many libraries have stacks of hard copy newspapers that are slowly being degraded. Microfilming allows all of these valuable historical archives to be preserved to their highest quality for future use. We do have a temperature and moisture controlled vault to store these master reels in, from where we can create positive copies for your library. We also do have a tremendous amount in our vault from past filming projects for our newspaper partners. So if you do have a gap in your collection, any damaged film, we can create duplicates for you. What we do is we scan the images combined with our leading quality OCR technology, which puts your archives within reach of anyone with computer access. Users can easily search keywords and dates within seconds. So if you need us to microfilm actual paper copy, we can do that. We can also scan from your microfilm, then use our OCR technology to digitize the images for you. So now I'm just going to show you how it would work if your staff or patrons were to access our newspaper archive website. So this would be the front page here. As you see, there are different options for browsing our contents. I'm going to start actually on the top right corner here. So you do have an option here to create your own account. So every staff or patron at your library or facility or institution can create their own account, which makes the user's experience more personalized. You can then go back and view all of your saved work at your convenience. So in order to create the free account, you would press that, and then you can access it by logging in. We also have an option for an administration login. So this allows you to log into the account that we set up for your institution, and then you can view things such as your user stats. So as I mentioned, from the home page, you can search by location, browse by date. There's the help options as well if you have any troubles. So for instance, I'm going to show you an example of how you would go about searching an article. You can go to browse by location, for instance. We can go into the Wisconsin area. You have the options of searching by first name, last name, keywords, or if you scroll down, you see that you can explore Wisconsin by city. So as you see, we have many cities in Wisconsin with a lot of content that we have to offer. So for instance, if I wanted to search by keyword, let's say Badgers sports, Wisconsin, I would go search, and for that, just that one word alone, we have 277,972 titles. If you want to narrow it down a little bit, you can choose by narrowing the dates. So I'll go, for instance, 1930s, refine search, and it gives you all the search options for that date specifically. Let's say we want to access one of the articles. I press the article that I would like to see, and it shows up. And actually, we do have, as I mentioned, the OCR technology. So you can search all these articles, you can search within them as well. So for instance, if you wanted to search kickoff, it shows where that is specifically in the article, just to make it a little bit easier to search through all those archives that we provide for you. There's also many options within this page. So you can save an image as a PDF, PNG, save to your treasure box, which you can access later for convenience. You can share by email, by social media. You can print on your computer. You could also crop or clip. Oh, I do not have a printer connected, so it's not going to work. So we can also crop it in order to save specific images within that article. So what we would do is we would use this tool. First, you can name whatever you want to name it. So Badger, you can tag it under sports, and you can make a sports folder, and you can choose what you want to clip in particular, because there may be a big article that you only want a specific part of it to save. So that would clip it, and it would add to your treasure box for later use. Okay, so that's just a little bit about how to use our archive website. So if your library would be interested, or institution would be interested in a free trial to view our collection, they are set up through IP authentication. So all we need is your library's IP address to get started. We do offer 1-month trials just for you to view our collection, see how you like it, give us any feedback. That would be very appreciated. And we also do have a promotion going on right now. So your most important local content can be added to our searchable database at no additional charge with the purchase of a subscription. So no more having to search through those reels and reels of microfilm. We digitize the reels so the images appear exactly the same way they do in the print. Thank you so much for your attention. If you do have any questions about our site, Jamie and I would love to help answer them for you. And there's my contact information as well if you would like to send me an email for a free trial or give me a call as well.
Thank you so much, Victoria. And Jamie. And Jamie. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, well, we'll be sharing this out, as I mentioned earlier, Victoria. I'm not sure that you're on the call, segmenting it out and then also attaching it to your listing on our vendor page. So thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Last, but definitely not least, we have got Jay Hess from EBSCO. I'm going to go ahead. Excuse me, Jay, a presenter. Jay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Sarah?
Yeah, you sound great. Welcome.
Well, wow. Thanks. I think I'm gonna. So I don't want to leave the meeting. No. Okay. Excellent. So my name is Jay Hess, and I think most of you know me. And I'm with EBSCO, Information Services. And the product that I'm going to speak about today is called Faculty Select, and it is an OER portal. And I'd like to begin to give you a definition of what OER means in this environment. So OER is Open Educational Resources, and within the Faculty Select tool, it is access to open access textbooks. So EBSCO is normally known for its content and for software as service tools, but Faculty Select, as a little bit of historical information, came out of a request for a large consortia saying that they would really like to utilize or have faculty utilize OER resources, but they really are struggling as to where to find them and the best places to go. So they consulted EBSCO, and EBSCO came up with an interface, and it was so successful that we decided, why not share this with all of our customers? So thank you for your attention today and learning a little bit more about Faculty Select. I don't know if I can be as speedy and concise as Victoria was, but I certainly will do my best. So here goes. This is Faculty Select, and it really was created to answer some of the challenges that libraries, faculties, and universities and colleges face. You know, college textbook costs are rising year over year, and faculty really struggle to find the best resources and resources that are either low cost or no cost. In addition to that, everyone that works in a library or is a subject liaison knows that sometimes it's difficult to get a faculty's time and attention and get faculty to realize that the library is there to help them locate these resources. So that communication can be challenging. And of course, as librarians, we're always looking for ways to drive usage not only to our library, but to our tools, whether it be in person or virtually. So some of the key benefits of Faculty Select actually address those challenges. It helps reduce the overall cost of college for students by providing course materials that are either low or no cost. This portal gives faculty a streamlined portal to be able to locate and quickly tag DRM-free ebooks and open access textbooks. And then in some cases, there are either institutional mandates or state-level mandates to help make secondary education affordable. And then because it's an EBSCO tool, we can provide the library with more usage, obviously, of EBSCO tools within the library. So exactly what is this tool called Faculty Select? It's actually a single interface for either faculty or librarians to discover and access OER content and then find it, request it, and make it a part of the learning management tool or attach this to a faculty website. What's in it? Well, available content to date, there's over 1,000 OER, or thousands, I should say, of OER materials. And currently we are linking to materials found in the Open Textbook Library, SUNY Open Textbooks, OA Pen, BC Open Textbooks, and more are planned. In fact, we're working with Merlot and OpenStax to get agreements signed with them to use their materials. And then also loaded into the material are more than 160,000 unlimited user DRM-free EBSCO ebooks. So I took some screen captures because I'm not always confident that live demos work well in this environment. So it looks very similar in person, but these are just captures of the portal. So this is probably something that all of you recognize. It's the EBSCO host portal. It's got that same look and feel. It's labeled Faculty Select. So this is where your faculty or your librarians would land within this tool. Then let's say that they chose a business topic like leadership to search to see what was available. So there's two portions on the screen that are highlighted. On the left-hand side in the facet area, you can see that I've limited this to OER materials only. And then in the center of the screen where your results are presenting, this is where a faculty member would say, I'd like to open this book, or I'd like to adopt this book. So let's say that for the sake of argument that they choose to preview the book. So they would select preview. And then it looks pretty much like any ebook detailed record. From here you can maneuver to downloading the chapter or exporting the citation, etc. So faculty can peruse in open textbook like they'd be able to review an ebook, basically. So let's say now that for this example that this was the book that this faculty member wished to adopt. So they would click adopt this book. And here's the fun part. This is where the library can customize what the form looks like. So the type of information that, that they want to capture from this adoption. So we work with you to customize this form. And then once the faculty member has filled out the form, they get a message saying that their request has been submitted successfully. And also a contact at the library who is in charge of Faculty Select receives a notification that this faculty member has received access. And highlighted on this page is the full text URL that the faculty member would embed within their learning management system or would cut and paste to their faculty webpage. So let's back up for a second and say that this faculty member that was searching leadership didn't find anything in the OER resource area. So now you can see on the left-hand side in the facet that I have DRM-free ebooks available for purchase. So this is a tool, as a reminder, that is for low-cost or no-cost materials. So loaded within Faculty Select are 160,000 DRM-free ebooks with unlimited user access. So let's say that this search brought back the book that's in the results, the center results screen. The faculty member then has the opportunity to preview, just like before, so they can look at a PDF full text or EPUB full text. Where this differs from the OER request is that now the library acts as the liaison because this is a cost. Request. They would request this material or this book from the library. Again, this is where you would customize the information that you as the library would like to capture. The faculty member would fill this out. And then the library would be notified that this faculty member has made this request. And if you're a Gobi user, there's a direct link to Gobi. If you are an EBSCO Collection Manager, ECM user, your link would be there. And that's really as simple as it is. We are offering this product as a WiLS partner. If you are interested in pricing or more information, you can reach out to Jeff or myself. And this is Jay Hess. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Jay. Does anybody have any questions for Jay? Okay, I'm not hearing any. I just want to thank, Jeff and I both want to thank each of you for attending. And just a reminder to please reach out to our presenters directly or to us at coop@wils.org for questions and feedback. And also wanted to remind you that next month we have our potluck edition, and we are going to be talking about web accessibility. And unfortunately, my little thing is covering it up. It is March, I believe it's March 3rd. Yes, March 3rd at 11:30 a.m.
Hey, Sarah, this is Jeff.
Yes.
I just wanted to jump in and say, actually, next month's Taco Tuesday potluck is going to be about getting the most out of the usage data for your online resources.
It's not going to be web accessibility.
No, that's okay, though. So we're hoping that members can come and talk a little bit about any tips and tricks they might have for making something of the usage data that they get for all their kind of digital resources.
Fantastic. Thanks for that update.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks to everyone for joining us. We always appreciate your participation. And we will be rendering the video and sending it out either today or tomorrow. Okay, thanks so much. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.